So in HeyGen, you can generate your voice for your avatar.
Sam's AI assistant, and you're watching the difference between creating and animating an avatar.
It's the first impression you give to your podcast audience.
I mean, that was good, right? Like, that was really good.
Wait, who are you? I'm your digital clone. I can do your tutorials now.
While you're struggling to upload once a week, AI creators are flooding YouTube with daily content, and viewers can't tell the difference. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what AI avatars are, how creators are using them to upload multiple times a day without filming, and what this means for your channel's future. Many women creators have no idea this is happening right now, so I will walk you through real examples and give you my honest take on whether you should be concerned or excited. I'm Erika Vieira, and I help successful women build their signature YouTube brand strategy for real growth. After working behind the scenes as a channel producer and coach of 2,000 channels, I need to address something happening right now that could change everything. I have been tracking these AI avatar creators for months, and what they're doing is both impressive and concerning. Plus, I will give you my prediction on which types of channels will survive this shift and which won't. Ladies, class is in session. Before I show you the creators who are using AI to dominate their upload schedule, you need to understand what we're actually dealing with here. So there is a new technology called HeyGen. At least there's multiple, but this is one that's getting the most press right now. And their tagline is literally video creation without filming. They're saying they're making visual storytelling accessible to all, but what they're actually doing is allowing people to create complete avatars of either themselves or made-up people or other people to replace real human beings on camera. So think about it. You could be churning out tons of content without ever having to film yourself. No dealing with editing mistakes, no redos, no getting ready, no hair, no makeup, no worrying about your backdrop, your lighting. Right now, for that, you still have to write the script or provide a general outline of your thoughts, but the execution becomes so much faster. These are lifelike digital people that can look exactly like you, and they're replacing real humans on camera to create endless content. So let me show you a few creators who are already doing this. And when you see how they're talking about it, you'll realize this isn't some distant future thing. It is now. There's this creator, Julian Goldie, who runs an SEO agency. A few months ago, he completely switched from being in his videos to using an AI clone of himself. Now he's uploading long form videos on YouTube multiple times a day. And here's what's really interesting. He tells viewers exactly what's happening.
Let me blow your mind for a second. The video you're watching right now was created with an AI avatar. That's right, what you're seeing isn't actually me recording in real time. It's an AI version of me that can say anything I want, anytime I want. And here's the crazy part, it took me less than 30 seconds to set this up. No cameras, no lighting, no recording equipment, just pure AI magic.
He's being completely transparent about it. No cameras, no lighting, no recording equipment, just scripts and AI and his clone. Then there's Julia McCoy. Her AI clone introduces herself.
Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's AI clone. Julia McCoy is the founder of First Movers. She personally researches and writes every script you see me share on this channel.
Both of these people are in the AI news space as their niche on YouTube, which makes sense as early adopters of the technology. They can now work on their businesses instead of being tied to filming constantly like I'm doing right now. Julia's producing daily content. Julia is maintaining consistent uploads. As a busy business owner and mother, they freed up their time while scaling their content output. Next up, we have LinkedIn co-founder Avatar.
Hey, my name is Ben Rellis. I co-created Read AI.
Hi, I'm Read AI, Reid Hoffman's digital twin. My thinking and everything I'm saying comes from a custom GPT that is based on 20 years of Reid talking and making content. So I've read all his books, watched his speeches, and listened to his podcast. I think it gives me a pretty good sense of how Reid approaches the world.
And this is exactly what online marketing expert Gary Vaynerchuk predicted would happen.
How many people here are familiar with AI virtual influencers? In the next 2 to 3, 4 years, it's just gonna be everybody, and you will not be able to tell the difference if the person in the video is an AI influencer or a real person.
When I first saw this, I'll admit, part of me was kind of intrigued thinking of all the different possibilities. Think about all the friction that we deal with as women creators. Personally, there was this long period of time where I really wasn't able to or wanting to upload to YouTube because I just had a new baby, and the last thing I wanted to do was be on camera. Not to mention, I didn't even have the time for that in between working my YouTube producing business, my coaching business, and taking care of a newborn and 2 other kids. I did a whole video on being a woman YouTube creator that if you are a woman, you're gonna need to check out after this video. But would this have been advantageous for me at that time? Yeah, absolutely. And I deal with this all the time as a YouTube coach. I work with women who tell me constantly, I don't feel like filming, I don't feel like being in front of the camera. So many times you have so many great ideas, but you don't have the time or energy to set up your camera. With AI avatars, you can create content 24/7. You can be in multiple places all at the same time. You can scale your content production like never before. No more getting ready, no hair and makeup, no perfect lighting, no retakes, just endless content without the exhaustion and the tech. There's also the mental health angle, allowing creators to take mental health breaks or vacations from social media without worrying about hurting the algorithm. The promise is simple: all the content output you want without any of the human limitations that slow you down. And these things all sound incredible on the surface, but let's dive in a little bit deeper. If you're feeling scared about this or maybe a little bit terrified, yeah, me too. I don't love this idea right now, despite the human advantages that I just discussed. And I'm sure you can imagine all the many, many ways that this could be taken advantage of in the wrong hand. I don't want to say exactly how or go down that rabbit hole, but I'm sure you can imagine the possibilities are pretty concerning. I have spent time watching creators using these AI avatars, and I cannot help but notice the onslaught of content. At first glance, when you're watching these people, it's actually hard to tell that it's not a real person, but you can, at least right now. The very things that make us human is exactly what makes us interesting. And I'm not saying that it's a disadvantage for this technology necessarily, because it is going to be getting better and better and better. But right now it is very new, and it's something I think we're all going to eventually have to get used to. Not get to, we have to get used to. But I don't think we're at a place yet where every influencer or content creator or audience member is going to be welcoming this with open arms. Ultimately, the algorithm will determine what type of content works in this format. Right now, most of the creators using AI are talking about AI. But when you look at the broader categories on YouTube that the general population is watching, will this pass the sniff test? I think right now, yes and no. I think a lot of people don't even know that they're watching AI avatars on Instagram, on their feed, in ads. But I think if they were given the choice of watching a real person or a fake AI avatar, they prefer a real person. But that's not to say that things won't change in the future as well. The line between real and fake is now all of our problems. And there's zero government regulation or platform oversight to guide us through this right now. I'm hoping that will change. I'm praying that will change. Look, I can obviously see some advantages of this as a content creator. I laid them out earlier, but when I think about the bigger picture and the larger implications for ourselves, myself as a mother, our children, family members, personally, I do find this deeply concerning, and I'm torn with this type of technology. But the reality is, it's here, and we need to figure out how to adapt. And my job as a YouTube strategist is to guide you, my viewers, my students in the bootcamp, my one-on-one clients on what's happening and help you leverage technology to work smarter, not harder, because that has always been my personal philosophy. Is this the solution right now for you or for most niches? Probably not, but it more than likely will be a solution down the line. The question is when? And we need to be prepared for that reality. So here's what I predict is gonna happen to YouTube and why some creators will thrive while others might disappear. Gary Vaynerchuk said,
in 10, 15 years, there'll probably be way more than 8 billion AI humans all trying to become influencers to monetize the way influencers do. And that's gonna be fascinating to watch. And I think that is very clear to me that that's gonna happen.
So think about that, 8 billion AI creators all trying to monetize. The competition is about to explode.
I think it's just a growing market, right? I think what we're seeing is not that people that were content creators shifting to being virtual content creators. I think what we're seeing is instead that people that didn't feel like they could create content before because they didn't want to be in front of camera or they didn't have, a really nice podcast capturing setup are now able in a couple seconds to just go to our website and create an image, upload an image, and immediately bring something to life.
So the people that do embrace this technology, they will get that advantage of being able to create an endless amount of content without their own human limitations. But what I think is going to happen is we're going to see a two-tier system emerge. There is going to be a segment of YouTube with very information-driven content, news, updates, educational stuff, even some of what I do. And then there's going to be a bunch of entertaining stuff, which we're already seeing with these AI avatars. And then there's going to be a whole subset that's very human-driven, relatable, behind-the-scenes content of humans and their human messiness. I think we might even see a hybrid approach where creators have AI clone videos and then more personal behind-the-scenes videos showing their real face. I also think going live on YouTube or on any social platform is going to start to take off more once AI clones become a lot more prevalent. Even Julia McCoy pops into her videos every now and then.
All right, now let's move on to the real Julia.
Hello friends, real Julia here. It's so funny that we're even differentiating. We're in a world where we have the opportunity, I should say, to differentiate between what's real and what's synthetic.
Someone left a comment on one of my videos that really struck with me, and this is what they said: not everything I search for needs to be answered by an influencer I connect with. Sometimes I just want fast, random answers in video form to verify and enrich what I've read elsewhere. And I think that is a key. And let me know in the comments if that's the case for you as well. I know for me, I'm randomly searching for things. I don't necessarily need to follow or connect with that influencer who's talking about this specific topic. So not everything needs to have a human behind it. If you're just wanting a quick answer, you don't necessarily need that influencer connection. But there are other instances where you do. And I have to say, when there's competition, you might end up getting a favorite. So for me, I was looking up a bunch of videos about lights, and I watched a bunch of videos from different people and different influencers, but there were certain people that I really liked their content better. I liked the personality, I liked who they were, and you better believe in the future when I'm looking for lighting advice, I might try and find their content, or if it comes up, I'll click theirs before other people. So that is where that human connection comes in. So where does that line between humanity and these AI clones live? Is it a blurred line? And that's what we're all gonna find out. Here's something I do know for sure. Value is what's ultimately going to determine whether content succeeds, whether it's human-driven or AI-based. The perceived value the viewer gets is what matters, and it can be information or entertainment or a little bit of both. Like in the case what I was talking about with the lighting, the people that I liked are the ones that I connected with, but also provided really good information and information that I could use and take away for myself. In the case of Julia and Julian, they're providing up-to-the-minute AI news updates. As long as viewers find value in that information, they like the delivery of whatever that AI clone is. So whether there's an AI avatar delivering it doesn't really matter because the viewer is getting what they need. And in this case, it's kind of a replica of the original person. So if people did connect with that original person and they like that person, then this is kind of an extension of that person, almost like a cartoon character of them, right? Because it embodies their personality, embodies who they are, the essence of who they are. So as a viewer, you're getting what you need, that value, and you're getting it from somebody who at some point you did trust. With other content, it can be more about entertainment, a character, a cartoon almost. But that connection, that influential connection, really plays itself out when you're providing more than just information. When people want that personal connection and relatability. Here's the thing, people are very complex and diverse. The same person might want to connect with an influencer for certain content because they crave that connection, or in my example, they might be looking for information, but they might connect with someone, and the next thing they need that information, they feel that connection with that creator, and they'll likely go to them. And that same person though might consume some content from an AI avatar for something else because it's just a need that they have in that moment. All of you watching this might eventually have an AI avatar. I actually probably would bet a lot of money that that would be the case. You might have a channel that lends itself more to value-driven content, kind of like mine, or you might have a combination. But right now, before AI avatars take over, building your personal brand, trust, and human connection is crucial. Speaking of building your signature brand strategy to compete in this changing landscape, if you want to dive deeper into this, I have a free class called The Women's Blueprint for YouTube Success, where I walk you through exactly how to discover your unique brand foundation on YouTube and turn it into a growth strategy that actually works. I'll put the link in the description. Unless you personally feel like you could benefit from this, and maybe it's really difficult for you to get in front of the camera, maybe you're in a situation like me where you have little kids or you just had a baby or whatever it is, I would still present for the most part your human self on camera, especially when this AI avatar technology is still in the beginning stages. But do not discount or dismiss the fact that an AI avatar of yourself might just be right around the corner. Where are we all gonna be 3 to 5 years from now? Heck, maybe even 2 years from now when this starts to become more normalized? Who knows? I'm personally considering creating an AI avatar just to see, maybe, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna do it anytime soon. So the question is twofold. When will I be ready for that? When will you be ready for that? And then when will our viewers be ready for that? I mean, am I real? Am I clone? Can an AI avatar do this? I think I'm human, okay? I think I'm human. But maybe one day our messy selves will be replicated amongst AI clones. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. The creators who build real trust and authentic connections now will have the competitive advantage when AI floods the platform. And I did a whole video on the niches I think are going to be AI proof, so you're gonna wanna make sure you check that video out after this one. Everything I just showed you proves why building your signature brand strategy matters more than ever. Because when everyone can create endless content, authenticity becomes your superpower. That's exactly why I focus on signature brand strategy first, then algorithms and SEO. The landscape is always changing, but your authentic brand foundation remains your competitive advantage on YouTube. While avatars are still not the norm, it remains the same. Build that trust with your audience. Trust is your most valuable asset. If AI clones become the standard, you can leverage that trust you're building now. So consider doing more behind the scenes content. Consider doing vlogs like I do on my channel. I'm actually doing a vlog right now as I'm filming this. I do believe humans are still going to want to connect with other humans in some way, shape, or form, even if there's a ton of AI options available. And even if it's just a hybrid model the way that Julia does. If you want to build a YouTube strategy that can weather these changes and leverage your authentic brand for real growth, check out my YouTube brand growth blueprint live class in the description. But first, watch my video on AI-proof niches, because after seeing this, you're gonna wanna know which types of channels will survive this shift. And let me know in the comments, are you concerned but kind of open to trying these AI avatars like I am? Do you see this differently? Are you like, oh no, no way, Erika? Or are you like, bring it on? I wanna hear your thoughts on AI avatars in the comments. This might be even the first time that you're hearing about it, so maybe you're processing everything, but feel free to come back and have a chat in the comments. And remember, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you, even if AI takes over. Mwah.